The moment I stepped out of the car, my heart dropped into my stomach like a stone. The office building stood there unchanged, or maybe worse, like a tombstone mocking me. 1 year, one long, miserable year since Daniel died in that brutal car accident that no one could explain. I could still feel the sting of betrayal, the lies that had spun around me like a cage. They told me it was just an accident, but my gut had been screaming the truth all along. Someone had wanted him gone, and now I was going to find out who. I took a deep breath and pushed open the glass door. The lobby was empty, silent, and smelling faintly of fresh paint and polish. My team from a renovation company had already arrived, working like ghosts, setting up furniture, rewiring offices, and installing new security systems. But I wasn't here for the renovation. I was here for the truth. I stepped past the pristine floors and into the heart of Daniel's office, and my chest tightened. This was a room where he'd spent sleepless nights building his dream, and where someone had come and shattered it all. Mrs. Carter, my project manager, said nervously, "Everything's ready, but—" "I know," I interrupted, my voice colder than winter. "Everything has to be perfect. Every detail." I had a plan. Daniel's company had been struggling financially the last few months before he died, a fact conveniently overlooked by the board members who claimed they were his friends. But I knew the truth. They were the vultures, circling, waiting for him to falter, so they could steal everything he built. And now, with the office in my hands, I had the leverage I needed. I walked into Daniel's personal office. The walls had been stripped bare, and the air smelled faintly of fresh paint. I ran my hand along his old desk. It was the same one he'd always sat at, the desk where he confided in me late at night about his fears, his ambitions, his enemies. My fingers grazed the carved initials he'd etched into the corner years ago. My throat tightened, and then I saw it, a small envelope tucked beneath the corner of his desk. I tore it open, and the documents inside made my blood boil. Contracts, emails, and financial statements, all proof that the board had been siphoning money from his company, falsifying records, and plotting to remove him entirely. My husband hadn't died in an accident. He had been betrayed, sabotaged, and left to die while the people he trusted were counting his money. I felt a wave of fury and grief crash over me, but I didn't cry. Not yet. I needed control. I needed revenge. I sat down at his chair, the leather creaking under my weight, and smiled. Not a happy smile, but one of cold calculation. The plan was simple. I had legal papers ready, media contacts on standby, and undercover investigators who had been following the board for months. First, I'd secure the office in my name, legally. Then, I would leak everything, the emails, the contracts, the proof of financial theft. The world would see what they did, and they would pay, not just with money, but with humiliation. Their careers, their reputations, their families, everything would crumble just like mine had. As I stood and looked out the window at the city skyline, I felt Daniel's presence with me. His dreams, his ambitions, his vision. They were still alive, and now they had a new executor. I turned to my team and gave the orders. Final touches, secure the documents, prep the press release. Every step calculated, every move deliberate. By tomorrow, their world would implode. I imagined their faces when the news broke, when the people they had fooled for so long realized the truth. I imagined their panic, their excuses, their desperate attempts to cover up, but there would be no escape. Justice was coming, not through the courts, but through exposure, through truth. And in that moment, I felt a strange peace settle over me. I wasn't just a widow anymore. I was a force to be reckoned with. The office renovation had been the perfect cover. They had no idea that while they thought I was just mourning, I was plotting. 1 year of tears, 1 year of silent fury, and now retribution. As I locked the office door behind me, I whispered Daniel's name, my heart racing with resolve. "You took him from me," I murmured. "But now, I take everything from you." And with that, the first step of my revenge had begun.